Hello, can anybody hear me now? I'm gonna try again. I just deleted that. So if anybody can hear me, I can start over. I'm gonna sit here until somebody joins me to tell me whether they can hear me or not. I'm drinking some decaf Americano while I'm doing this, which I haven't had. Well, I had one out the other day. So let me know if you can hear me and I will start over. Is anybody coming on? What does this mean? Oh, it says see-through. Hello, I'm on. Hello, 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 hello. Can anybody hear me? Nobody's on. I'm on again. Hello. Hello. Can anyone hear me? What a way to start a live. So I'm live, I think. Let me know if you can hear me and I will keep going. Maybe I should read the poem I wrote last night first. I don't know. Oh gosh, this is crazy. I can't figure out why, since it said my mic was on. And if anybody wants to join, let me know if you can hear me in the chat. I can see the chat if anyone would like to tell me whether they can hear me or not. And if they can't, I'm going to just go off and come back at another time when I get more directions about this. But it looks like my mic is on, and I don't really know what else to do except start talking. I have notes, so I need my glasses. So I'm hoping that someone will come on and tell me whether I'm live or not. Yes. Hi, can you hear me, Bryce? I would love an answer. You're the only one in the chat. Let me know if you can hear me, and then I will continue my live while I sit here. Yes! Awesome! Yay! Okay, I'm really live. I'm really on. That's awesome. Okay, so if you've never been on my channel before, my name is Amy Perrin. That's Decaf Americano. I'm Amy Perrin. I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes in 1971 in April. That's a long time ago. I am 71 now. And so that was 1971. I went to college in 72 to 76. When I got out of college, I had more time to do what I wanted to do, which was study nutrition and figure out how to heal from type 1 diabetes. Now, you're not supposed to be able to heal it. Like once you have it, you got it. But I'm just like, I just think the body is made to heal. So why not? So I've been working on it through all kinds of different ways. And I talk about that on other videos on my Brisket Boomers channel. So if you want to hear my whole story about, what I've tried to do to heal, just go back through my videos. There's a lot on there. So I'm trying to I have to wear my glasses thank you. I look good for my age. Thank you so much. Okay, so So the last thing I've been doing to try and heal is I've been on the carnivore diet for almost 7 years. In November, it'll be 7 years, November 12th. So right now I'm doing the lion diet, which basically means I eat only ruminant animals. And this is a cheat. I'm drinking decaf Americano and I'm cheating. I don't drink it every day. I just drink it when I really, 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 really want to. So I'm on the lion diet, which means to me, it means I'm eating beef and lamb and nothing else. And if I go out, which is not very often at all, I might get bacon, but that's cheating too. Every now and then, that's what I do, but not much. The only thing I've cheated on is drinking a little bit of white tea and a couple of decaf Americanos and bacon once in a month. Okay, so that's it, because I'm serious about healing. Okay, so Friday I went in and got a C-peptide test. So you might ask, what is a C-peptide test? So it's a blood test that measures C-peptide. C-peptide is a byproduct of producing insulin in your own body. So you don't have C-peptide if you take insulin, and that's a big part of the story too, but I will tell that after I tell the results. I don't want to forget that. Tell story of insulin. Okay, note. Okay, so I've got the results this morning when I looked on my patient portal, and my results came back as 0.18. Now, I've had a C-peptide test in last year in October and 2 years before that in October. October 31st, both days. I didn't do that on purpose. Isn't that weird that I would go for a blood test on Halloween? But anyway, so in 2024, in October, my result was 0.10. And in 2022, in October 31st, it was 0.14, which is a little higher, but so it went down, but then it came back up. And so my result of 0.18 is higher for me, but regular people that don't have any type of diabetes, the range is 0.5 to 2.0. I think if it's high, if it's over 2.0, it might mean you have type 2 diabetes, but I'm not sure about that. And I still need to do more. Research on the C-peptide, but that is my way to find out whether I'm anywhere close to healing. And let's just say I'm closer than I was. It's the best C-peptide test I've ever had, and it's approaching 0.5. So I'm going to say it again because I can't really put anything up here while I'm live. So my C-peptide test was 0.18. Normal is 0.5 to 2.0. Okay, so now I want to tell you, so what else am I doing and what else can I do? But first I'm going to tell you about what happened with the C-peptide test. So I had to call my endo to get my endocrinologist to get her to order the C-peptide test from my lab. And so she did that, but then she also said, don't take your insulin that morning, and don't and make it a fasting test. So I didn't eat. I ate early the night before at 5, and then I fasted until, well, I fasted. So I woke up. I usually take my insulin at 5 a.m. The lab opened at 6:30. So I didn't take my insulin as instructed, even though all these other tests, the other ones that I just told you about, I had taken my insulin for those. And I don't know what kind of results. Maybe it just means I'll have higher results because I'll be trying to produce insulin. I don't know. I think that it's fine to take the insulin because exogenous insulin, or insulin that you take, does not produce C-peptide, so it's not going to mess with the test. But I'll ask her next time I go in why I wasn't supposed to take insulin. But anyway, I didn't take it, so my blood sugar rose and rose and rose. It was just an hour and a half later. Well, actually, I was there before 6:30. I was the third in line, and so I think they took my blood at about 6:45. I didn't have to wait that long. And as soon as they took the blood, I went across the hall to the bathroom and I took my insulin. So I was about an hour and 45 minutes late taking my insulin. And it took, so my blood sugars were high for the whole rest of the day and half of the next day, just for being a little bit late taking my insulin. Isn't that weird? But it was. I mean, I didn't get to walk as much that day either, but I don't know, that's what it was. So what I'm doing now to try to heal is, besides doing the lion diet, which I've been doing just for the month of September, but I'm going to continue into October. I want to see all these. Yes, timing is everything. And thank you. I know Club, I can't remember your name, but I know I've seen Club Carnivore before. Yes, timing is everything. And so anyway, what I'm doing already is the lion diet, which the reason for the lion diet, which I have had I've talked about that in a previous video, but I can tell you quickly, is that on carnivore, which for me is usually beef, butter, bacon, and eggs, unless I'm trying to do intense healing, which I'll go on the lion diet. The reason for the lion diet is that it takes out anything you could possibly have a reaction to. It's not an allergy, just a slight reaction, which I'm thinking, because I can take a little bit less insulin on the lion diet, means that I have a very slight reaction to eggs and butter and either pork or bacon. I don't know which, because that's the only difference between what I do now on the lion diet with just beef and lamb. So I'm not allergic to any food, and I don't even feel like I'm sensitive. It's like I don't have any kind of a reaction to those foods, to eggs or butter, dairy, or bacon. But my blood sugars are better, my A1C came down, and I can take a little less insulin, especially overnight, which I don't really understand what that's about. But I think it's really interesting. So on the lion diet, I only need, well, so last night I took half of a unit of my long-acting insulin, half a unit. Sometimes on the lion diet, I get down to where I don't need any insulin overnight. But if I'm on just a regular carnivore diet, I need about 1 to 1.5 units at night. So there's a big difference. The daytime insulin doesn't, it goes down about half of a unit. On regular carnivore, I'm taking about 5 to 6 units of insulin for my long-acting daytime insulin. Right now, I'm down, I started with 5 on Lion, and now I'm taking 4.5, and that seems to be the right amount of basal, which I think is pretty interesting. So, what I think I found out from the C-peptide being a little higher than it was is that what I do matters, and maybe I really can encourage my beta cells, the cells in the pancreas that produce insulin, maybe I can encourage them to start producing insulin, because it looks like what I do makes a difference, right? So I am more inspired to keep trying, right? So what am I going to do? I'm going to add red light, and I'll aim it right at my pancreas, which is right about here, I think. It's hard to tell, but I think it's right about there. That's how it feels. I mean, I don't feel it, but I've seen pictures, lots of pictures of the pancreas. I think it's on a little bit on the left, and it's right about at your waist. But I'm gonna check on that just to make sure. I'll ask AI, and they'll tell me. So I'm gonna shine a red light on that. I haven't decided how long, maybe 10 minutes. And then I ordered this tuning fork. It's a big, heavy tuning fork. I think it's about this big. I will show you when I get it. It's a tuning fork, and it's supposed to be for healing. And what I ordered it for was my hands, because I have Dupuytren's contracture, and my hands, the tendons in my hands harden. And this is common in Northern Europeans. So anyway, I got the tuning fork. You make it vibrate, whatever you call that, and then you put it on your hands, and it's maybe going to open them up. I don't know. But I decided I could go ahead and do it on my pancreas area too. Like turn the tuning fork on or bang it or whatever you do to make it vibrate, and then put it on my pancreas area and see what that does. So that's my plan. And that's my plan. So I wanted to tell you guys what happened to me last night. What? You've not been able to find 0.5 units? What do you mean? It's just half of a unit. Oh, maybe you're on a pump. I'm not on a pump. I have vials, and I do shots. So I'm not using a pump. I use shots, and they do make shots that have half units, but these do not. I just estimate. So maybe on a pump you can't take half units? I don't know. I'm just gonna, this is my long acting, it's called N. This is my short acting or mealtime insulin, it's called R. Or this is NPH, this is regular, but it's N and R. I buy them at Walmart, they're cheap, they're old school insulin, and I like a lot of old school stuff, and I like vintage stuff. So I'm using vintage insulin. I mean, it makes sense, right? Look at that muscle. Where was I going? I don't remember what I was getting ready to say. Oh, I know so last night I was getting ready. I had just finished supper. And I was getting, if anybody has any questions about diabetes and carnivore or just carnivore, ask me. I got time this morning. I'd love to answer anybody's questions. I was going to tell you about, did you watch anything on my site? No. Um, oh gosh. So I was taking my last walk. It's I just take a walk in the neighborhood around 2 blocks. It's about a 15-minute walk. It's about a half a mile. Adds to my, I am still walking 10 miles every day. Well, actually, last night I walked 9.8, but I think that's good enough. I composed. I was missing my husband. He's been dead almost 4 years. 4 years in November. I was missing him. It was Saturday night. I was missing him. So as I'm walking, I wrote a poem in my mind, and I'm thinking, I mean, I do that kind of thing a lot, you know, you just lost in thoughts. But this poem came to me, and I got home. I thought, I think I'm going to write this down because I think it's important. Let's see if there's more questions, because I can always add the poem later. I hear insulin is cheaper abroad. Yes, maybe it is more expensive here, but I buy the cheap stuff at Walmart. Like I said, it's only it's $24.88 a vial at Walmart. Now that Walmart keeps these insulins because people who don't have insurance like to buy it that way. I do have insurance, but I'm used to how these insulins work, and I prefer not having to go through my insurance to get them. I'm doing great. Hi, Marcia. Um, so like I said, if anybody has any questions about diabetes or insulin or anything, I wanted to tell you guys my poem that I wrote last night. I came in and I wrote it down after it had come to me last night. And it's interesting if I really want to read this out loud. Okay, it's titled My Husband. And I said already, my husband died almost 4 years ago. And we were married for 42 years. So here it is. My husband ruined me for any other man. He complimented me every day. He took me shopping and actually enjoyed himself. He watched chick flicks with me, and they were his favorite movies too. Then he made love to me as if I was the most beautiful woman in the world. When he painted me again and again, the paintings were more beautiful than I could ever be. But then he did the most unforgivable thing. He died. I gotta change one word, and that works. So it was weird because this poem came to me while I was on a walk, and I was able to remember it and write it down. Never done anything like that before. And besides that, this morning when I did I do one puzzle on my phone. I have one game. It's a cryptogram puzzle where every letter is a different letter, and it's a quote. It's by somebody. So this morning, my cryptogram on my phone read, quote, "If you gave someone your heart and they died, did they take it with them? Did you spend the rest of forever with a hole inside that couldn't be filled?" I'll have to read that again. This is a quote by Jodi Picoult, and I'm going to read it again. If you gave someone your heart and they died, did they take it with them? Did you spend the rest of forever with a hole inside you that couldn't be filled. So I thought that was amazing that that came up after I wrote that poem about my husband. It's crazy. So the question is, can I heal while I'm still grieving? Well, I've probably talked longer than I meant to, and I've told you all my stories. I'm gonna do a little review here. I had a C-peptide test last week, and I just got the results. C-peptide is something that you produce when, or that is a, what's it called? It is a byproduct. It's a byproduct of insulin production. So if you get it tested, it will tell you whether you're a type 1 diabetic or a type 2 diabetic or normal. So my recent test was 0.18. Normal is 0.5 to 2.0. It's an improvement from other C-peptides that I've had. So I'm taking that as a good sign, but I still have more work to do. I'm going to be adding, besides being on the carnivore diet and the lion diet, I'm going to be adding red light shining right over my pancreas area, my mid-abdomen on the left, and tuning fork when my tuning fork gets here. So that, I think, completes my my YouTube video this morning. If anybody has any questions, I'll wait a minute, but I think this went well, and I will put this up on my channel so that you can come back and watch it later if you'd like to. But thank you for joining me, and you guys go out and have a great Sunday. Thank you. Bye. All right, let's see. How do I turn this off? Right there.